forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, winter really grasping at us now with big time cold. Look at this. 3 is now the temperature in Champaign, 2 in Springfield, and then you factor in the winds. It feels like 13 degrees below zero right now in Springfield and in Champaign. There is a wind chill advisory in effect. No surprise, those numbers are going to be as low as 15 to 20 degrees below zero. Okay, so it's big time cold here out the door. In the morning, you're going to see temperatures that are going to be quite cold. Look at that. 5 below zero is the temperature, and your wind chill's down to 20 below. All right, we're going to come back and talk about how long this lasts. Stick around. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Did you kill her or not?
But that's not all investigators say Michael Henslick admitted to doing. What else he told them about the murder of Holly Casano.
We certainly wouldn't want to take a bath in rusty water, but it is safe.
This isn't what you want to see when you turn on your taps. What one city says is behind it. This town has dealt with flooding for years, and now they're trying to tackle the issue before waters rise again.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Last night we dealt with the snow, and tonight it's the deep freeze. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. Paul is off tonight. Temperatures plummeted today, and wind chills made it feel even worse. WCIA 3's chief meteorologist Kevin Leidy is in our tracking center. Kevin, it is bitter out there now, and it's not going to get any better by morning.
It is not. It's going to get worse as we go into the morning hours. Let's take a look at the future wind chills, and yeah, look at that. 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. It could be 18 below zero with that wind chill. Very cold stuff. It's a no-brainer. There's going to be some frost out there, some ice to scrape off. Definitely at least 5 to 10 minutes because that's the air temperature. 5 below zero. So at that temperature, salt, well, that's pretty much ineffective on the roads. That's why many of the counties still have issues there. As you can see, look at all those counties that are in that light pink. You're talking Champaign County, you're talking Ford, Iroquois County, you're talking Piatt, DeWitt County. That's because they have seen also blowing and drifting snow, especially on some of the rural roads there as well. Here is what I can tell you, though. There are some schools that are out tomorrow, and you can see those closings. If you go to the WCIA 3 weather app, you go down and you see the little school bus on there, and you click the closings, and then our list of closings are right there on the app. Check them out. There are a lot of schools out, and it's a wonder if it's for the cold or if it's for the snow that's out there, maybe a little bit of both. Hang in there, though. We've got some warmer air that is on the way. You can come back here in a little bit, and we'll talk about those warmer temperatures that eventually will melt away all of this snow. But for tonight and tomorrow, pretty brutal out there.
Yeah, maybe set your alarm a little early to get that car cleared off.
Absolutely.
All right, Kevin, thanks. We have new details from the courtroom. Today, jurors in Holly Casano's murder trial saw videos of the suspect confessing to the crime. Michael Henslick is accused of killing Casano in her Mahomet home in 2009. WCIA 3's Aaron Eads has more.
Did you kill her or not? You did. How? Where?
The jury heard Henslick telling investigators he had sex with Casano's dead body. That part the investigators believed. Here's what they didn't believe. Henslick told them he and Casano also had consensual sex before he killed her.
You know why you killed her. You took off like a little rat. You squealed away. Because you did it for different reasons. Consensual stuff. Come on. That's not why people kill people. You don't have consensual sex and then kill somebody.
Despite their pressure, he stuck to that story even after admitting he went to the kitchen, picked out a steak knife, then went to Casano's bedroom and stabbed her dozens of times. A state police forensic scientist also testified. She tested evidence from the case and told the jury Henslick's DNA was found on samples of blood and semen taken from Casano's body and items in her home.
I was able to obtain a DNA profile at 23 locations for Laboratory Exhibit 9E, and Michael Henslick cannot be excluded or is included as a contributor to this human male DNA profile.
That didn't stop Henslick's defense team from questioning it. They questioned why the scientist didn't check the evidence for Henslick's brother's DNA, saying it could have changed that probability ratio. But the scientist said it wouldn't be much different.
That was Aaron Eads reporting. Closing arguments will happen tomorrow morning. Henslick faces up to life in prison if convicted. Arrangements have been made for a Central Illinois student who died after coming down with the flu. Visitation for Joey SANDHAAS will be tomorrow at the Butler Funeral Home in Chatham. His funeral will be Saturday at Westside Christian Church in Springfield. The Glenwood High School junior passed away on Monday after his flu turned into pneumonia. We have new information on a deadly plane crash in Sangamon County. The report from the NTSB says the plane crashed after issues with icing conditions and navigation. Former Springfield Mayor Frank Edwards, Sangamon County Coroner Cinda Edwards, and their family friend John Evans died in the crash. Evans was flying the plane and told tower control, quote, "We've got a problem," before the tower lost contact. That plane crashed seconds later. And with Cinda's death, Sangamon County was in need of a new coroner. Jim Allman was sworn in this week. He served under Edwards as her chief deputy. Allman has worked in the Sangamon County Coroner's Office for almost a decade. Now for an update in one school district, the new resource officers at Urbana schools are back from their training. The school board voted to add those officers full-time in November. That was after issues with fights at both the middle and high schools. Michelle Robinson is the SRO at the middle school. She says the training taught them not only how to protect students, but also how to understand them.
A lot of our kids that act out, it's not, there's a base behind it. There's a lot of things going on at home, you know, compared to come to school. And when they come to school, you know, that's the place for them to express themselves.
Robinson says the fights are down at the middle school since she started, and she also says many students seem more comfortable telling her things than they do staff members. Building those relationships is what Robinson says helps bridge the gap between the community and police. In Piatt County, the board chair ran his first meeting since his indictment, as some are calling for his resignation. A grand jury indicted Ray Spencer on charges of forgery and official misconduct a month ago. Since then, Spencer has remained board chair and has continued running county business. It is legal, but the board could also vote to remove him. So far, they haven't tried. Assistant State's Attorney Elizabeth Dobson told board members they can't say they don't have the right to remove him.
It is incorrect to legally say, for anyone to say, that you cannot conduct a process and remove a chair. You are, the responsible answer may be that you choose not to, but it's not that you cannot legally do it.
Board member Randy Schumard also spoke, saying he believes the board can't afford any more problems. He says the board is suffering from a lack of leadership that needs to be dealt with quickly. New for you tonight, WCIA was sent pictures of this rusty brown water coming out of faucets at a home in Gibson City. So we looked into why the water was that way and if it's safe. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is here now. Jennifer, you got some answers about what's happening.
Jessica, I did. I talked to the Public Works Department, and they assured me the water flowing through Gibson City's pipes is not contaminated. The cause of the concern came from these pictures of water flow from faucets in a home. The Public Works Department says this isn't a widespread issue right now, but they do get periodic calls from people in town about it happening once in a while. Water in Gibson City is hard water that comes from wells. It has a significant amount of iron in it. Oxidized iron particles in the water is what causes it to turn that rusty brown color. That could be because of the individual plumbing issues in the home or a problem with the city's piping. They do filter and treat the water consistently and test it every month for bacteria. But there are a couple reasons this happens from time to time.
Of our water mains are cast iron or iron mains. And right now, with the amount of chlorine that we keep in our system to keep the water safe, it does tend to leach some iron out, and or the pipes will get a little bit of a coating with iron.
Gibson City officials have filed a permit to add other chemicals to the water that would help to keep the water in suspension, or the iron in suspension, so it doesn't come out in their service lines. That application has been submitted through the EPA, but the city is waiting on approval for it. Back to you.
All right, Jennifer, thanks for that. Many think of shoveling sidewalks after snow falls, while you should also clear off fire hydrants, too. Plus, one city has seen more than its fair share of floodwaters. What plan they're working on to help fight that in the future. And later, there's no guarantee when Iowa will be back on the court. How that could change things up.